Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Already the last segment of today's program. Delighted to be able to talk to Chris Kidd, and always glad to have him on the program. He does a regular feature on sports and entertainment as it pertains to money, and occasionally we're fortunate just to get him on to talk about things he's involved in that make a difference in his community and our world. chriskidd, KIDD.com is how you find out more about our guest and our contributor, our regular contributor here on the program. Chris, tell us a little bit about what you do to help others.
Well, I'm a financial coach, so that basically means helping people with any kind of money issues, and not so much being an advisor, so to speak, but kind of tiptoes around that a little bit. It's more of I always tell people it's like if you think of a sports coach. The coach doesn't get out there and actually play for the players. They observe what's going on in the game, and they find strengths and weaknesses of their players and other teams, and they try to look for strategies that will help the team be successful. So that's basically what I do for my clients in a financial way.
Talk a little bit about how that looks practically when you engage with a client. How your sessions look, those type of things.
Well, it depends on what we're working on, because I've got clients that I deal with on entrepreneurship, running their own businesses, starting a business, if they have an idea for a new company, how to get that started. In fact, I just got off a call just a little while ago with somebody like that. And, that's one aspect. The other aspect that I deal a lot with is the personal finance side, as far as getting out of debt, managing money to where what's coming in, what's going out. Most people, if they don't have a plan for their money, they just see what happens, and at the end of the month they're like, well, this is what we have left. And I've got a good term for a budget. And most people think of a budget as telling me what I can't do, but a budget is basically just telling your money where to go rather than asking where it went. So that's the other area. And then there's the investment side and the wealth building side that I work with a lot of clients, as far as how to become better investors, how to be more sophisticated or do more sophisticated things that really aren't more complicated. They just, if you understand the game a little bit better, you can play at a higher level. So I teach them how that they can, play the investment game at a higher level, whether they're doing it on their own or working with an advisor or whatnot. But most people just run around and they throw their money here and there without understanding what they're investing in.
A whole lot of hope, which doesn't float.
Yeah, and I say my favorite saying is, hope is not an investment strategy.
Yeah.
So I want my clients to understand what their money's doing. If you have your money invested in something, well, tell me about what it is invested in. If you can't answer that, you have no business having your money there. Yeah,
absolutely. So it really comes down a lot to owning their financial lives and owning their financial futures. What it comes out to.
Yeah, I'm real big on personal responsibility, because that's one thing that we have a big lack of overall, and at least America today, and not just financially, but all together. And the things that I see happening in the financial world, and even politically, that's going to affect people's finances, or that could affect it down the road. If you don't have personal responsibility, there's too many people who could really get seriously hurt and just flat out wiped out. If they're just taking all responsibility off of themselves and putting it on somebody else. It's just too big of a risk.
Yeah, and a lot of people, are really just cavalier about their money. They get all kinds of notifications of things that institutions they have financial relationships with that do things to their money, and they don't even monitor that type of thing. I mean, it's pretty broad range in terms of the potential nefariousness that people aren't keeping businesses they work with accountable about. Don't you think?
Yeah, and especially higher net worth individuals. When you get into having millions of dollars, a lot of times the rules are a little more relaxed as far as what people can do with their money. So their advisor, they may like take a professional athlete or entertainer or somebody who says, I want somebody to just manage my money for me. They can handle my investments, and they'll just do all right with it. That's how a lot of these guys get taken advantage of, and how they wind up with nothing. But they have to be able to understand what's going on. And I always say, look, you should at least be able to evaluate what your money's invested in. If you have somebody doing that for you, meet with them once a month, or at the very least once a quarter, and say, where's my money? What's it doing? What do I know about this? And, if they have an idea, you should be able to evaluate the idea, not just say, okay, well, this guy's supposed to be the expert, so I'm going to do whatever he says. I want people to be able to evaluate it and think for themselves. But
yeah.
It takes a little bit of education to do that, but that's why I'm here.
Well, I don't think we've done this type of more thorough overview of exactly what you do. I'm glad we have, and if we have, then it's been quite a while.
I'm usually talking with other people
about what they're doing. Yeah, but it's good that we're getting this conversation. Another thing that's good is Fanatical Change, in which the Price of Business show was involved in that last year. We're looking forward to being involved even in a bigger way this year. You can learn more about it at financialcoaching.org. But we're pretty much at the very close to the 3-month mark. That event is approaching quickly. Tell us, kind of give us the elevator speech for Fanatical Change.
Well, Fanatical Change is a very intimate charitable organization, and it's basically what we've done is created something that doesn't have the overhead of a major organization.
Nonprofit. Yeah.
Yeah, most nonprofits have expenses and stuff that they have to pay out and staff, and this is basically a charity in a box, is what somebody described it as the other day. And is run by volunteers. Even all board members are volunteers. Nobody takes a salary or anything. And we plan these big events. That's how we raise the money. And it's planned for people that we know are going to experience some sort of a life-altering, some devastating tragedy in the near future. We don't know who it's going to be or what's going to happen, but we know stuff happens. And what we do is we plan these events to raise money that basically we're going to be a miracle for somebody, and usually many somebodies. And we hold these events, and everything that's donated, all the ticket sales, 100% of the donation goes in 24 hours directly to the people in need. And we identify them with our selection committee, and they basically screen, through the media, police, fire contacts, and stuff like that, to make sure everything is legit. We make sure that it's somebody who didn't contribute to their own problem, that they didn't create it. It was something that was really unavoidable. It just something happened to them, and they have no other means of support. They're not getting donations from other people that are keeping them afloat. It's basically somebody who just had something happen that they have no way to solve, or they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders now because they don't know what they're going to do unless they have a miracle. So we screen these families, we find them and identify them typically right before the event. So that at the event, we can actually give a write-up to everybody who attends about the people that they are donating money for that night. The next day, we go give it out in the form of goods and services rather than cash, so it can't be misappropriated. We'll pay rent sometimes. We'll get furniture. We'll replace things that may have been lost. We use a lot of gift cards. Kroger's been a big supporter of ours, and helped a lot of people with groceries. We've paid funeral expenses and stuff like that, and it's really just a fanatical change for the life of the people that we're going to see. I mean, it's in their darkest hour, and it usually is within days of whatever the tragedy was. Sometimes it's within 24 hours or 48 hours of whatever it was that happened, like somebody that lost a son or a mother or something like that. Maybe their home burned down right before they had a baby, and then they don't know what they're going to do. And we show up, and they're in the delivery room thinking, how are we going to take care of this child? And we say, here, it's all taken care of. We had a group of people that showed up at our event last night, and we raised all this money for you, so replace everything.
And the timing's interesting. It's just days before November, which is the beginning of the Christmas season. You guys are kind of like Santa Claus on steroids for someone who desperately needs Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. And it's not always we've had events at different times of the year, but this is one that seems to work really well. And this particular event, it's themed Superhero Halloween because it's right before Halloween, and it's actually going to take place at the Diamond Club at Minute Maid Park. We had it there last year. It's phenomenal. We've added some stuff for this year that it's going to make it 10 times better. We're expecting even more people. We're expecting 1,000 to 1,200 people at this event this year, so it's going to be really amazing.
Yeah, well, I think it's amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. We were involved last year. We're fixing to begin a radio campaign, commercial campaign here soon, and plus more this year. We're going to be doing banner ads over at priceofbusiness.com and usdailyreview.com, and we're going to just do what we can to build interest in this important event. How many years has this been going on?
I believe it would. I want to say time just really runs together for me right now, so I don't even really know anymore. But I want to say like 7 years, maybe. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, somewhere 6 to 8 years in that ballpark.
2008, so 7 years. So I just looked it up. 2008.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking 2008, 9, somewhere around there. And in that time, we've raised and given away every dollar of over $700,000 to local families.
Yes, an amazing thing, and you guys have a lot of fun doing it, and so it's a cool thing all the way around. Financialcoaching.org. I encourage the listener to check it out. Financialcoaching.org. If you want to learn more about Chris Kidd does to help change people's lives, you want to check out chriskidd. That's KIDD.com. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you. I'll see you guys soon.
You bet. We're looking forward to it. You got a huge lineup of excellent guests, and so we're looking forward to hearing them.
Yeah, I've been on vacation a little too long now.
Yeah, and we feel that too, buddy. We're looking forward to that content. We miss it. All right, when we come back tomorrow, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, actually, when we come back Monday, I do want to remind you the best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.